Right, welcome into Posca Club, everybody. We're going to continue up what we did last week, which was all like rainbow kind of things, because I enjoyed it. It's not very often I use a lot of colour in my artwork, so it's always nice to just throw every single colour at it. These are the pens that I'm using today. So yeah, just rainbow colours again. I'll quickly whip through them just in case you need to. Red, orange, yellow, light green, light blue, sky blue, and then violet. That's what I'm going for. Doesn't matter if you haven't got exactly the right colours at all. Just grab some colours that will look nice together. Throw loads of colours at it. We're going to draw a rainbow. I'm going to draw a couple of clouds, like kawaii style clouds as well. The only thing I will say that is quite important is these two colours here, sky blue and light blue. I'm going to use those for the clouds as well. So if you've got a sky blue and a light blue handy as well, that's going to really work for these clouds. Now technically you could just do the clouds, leave them white, it will still look fine, but I just want to show you a little way of kind of doing some clouds and adding a bit of depth and a bit of a shadow underneath the clouds. So light blue and sky blue, we're going to use that in the clouds as well as the rainbow. Okay, all of those are in 5M, and then we've got a black in a 3M as well. I'm not going to use it that much though. It's just there for outlining the cloud, but like I say, not going to use it that much. What we're going to try and do, big rainbow, a couple of clouds, finish it off with a load of drips coming off the rainbow. One of the things that really works well with Posca pens is being able to do that kind of stuff. Okay, go and grab your black 3M or some sort of thin black pen. You might even want to do this bit in pencil, totally up to you. And what we're going to do is two clouds, one over this side, one over this side. Okay, so this is the way I draw clouds. I'm going to draw the first parts right now, and then I'll zoom in so you can see all the other bits. Okay, I'm gonna go about halfway up the page. First, the way I draw clouds, look, is a little C shape that way and a little C shape that way. That's our starting point. Now you see I've left a little gap in there, and I'm going to do another cloud over there later, but I'll just show you how to do this one first. So start up with those two C shapes. That's the full width of the cloud. Let me zoom in. There we go. Then what we're going to do is just do a little bouncy line across the bottom. The bouncy line across the bottom is quite straight. Random bounces, some big ones, some small ones, but fairly straight, going from one side to the other side. As we go across the top though, let's go a little bit higher, like that. So we've got a nice flat bottom and a bumpy top. Okay, we're going to do the same kind of thing over on the other side, but you know, rather than making it perfectly symmetrical, why don't you do it a little bit higher up or a little bit lower down? Doesn't matter, we can still make this rainbow kind of work. But let's start off with those C shapes. I'm doing it a little bit lower down, mainly because then I haven't got to worry about having them perfectly parallel. Okay, you got that. Let's go and put in a little bouncy line across the bottom. Quite straight across for the bottom bouncy line, and then a bouncy line across the top, but this time we're going to go a little bit higher. And keep it random as well, yeah, so big bounce, small bounce. Don't worry about getting those perfect, they're just guidelines at the moment. We're probably going to lose quite a lot of those lines later. We can colour over them nice and easy. Okay, that's stage one done. Stage two is let's go and throw some colours on. You really want to give these as long as possible to dry. Okay, because we don't want to be pulling any of that black up as we do this next stage. We're going to put the rainbow colours on now. So I'm going to go from this side all the way over and jump it over to this side. Now my suggestion would be to start in the middle of the middle of the cloud here and finish off into the middle of the cloud there. So for example, let's have a look at these colours. They're my rainbow colours. Yeah, so I can see that my middle colour is this green. Yeah, I've got 3 over this side, 3 over this side, green in the middle. So I'm going to start with that middle colour of green. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a nice big line that goes from the middle of this cloud to the middle of that cloud. Yeah, just thicken that out a little bit. Let's go in with a slightly thicker line. Now don't forget, we are going to put 7 stripes, potentially 7 stripes on here, so don't go too thick with it. There we go. Something like that will do nicely. Let me zoom in again. You can see the kind of size that I'm going for. Okay, let's carry on then with those. Now you just got to remember to go with the in the right order. So on the outside of the rainbow, we're going yellow, orange and red. So let's go and take that yellow and let's go and put a stripe in just on the outside here. Same kind of thickness you want, so I've gone for, last time around I think it was about 3 pen widths. Yeah, I've gone for about 3 pen widths, but obviously our artwork always looks a lot better if we go a bit wonky, so it doesn't matter if it's a little bit fatter in areas, a little bit thinner in areas. Just go for something like that. Let's keep on working outside that rainbow. Let's go for an orange next. We're trying to get to the edge. And also, yeah, when you're drawing these curves, use your wrist. Use your wrist as like the centre of a compass to make sure your curve is nice and smooth. You don't have to do like me and just keep your book upright all the time. You can move it around a little bit. Move your book around to make it nice and easy to do these lines. Personally, I like to leave my book straight just to make it a lot easier for you guys to copy. And it also looks pretty good on the reel as well. There we're getting on. So remember, nice and light when you're colouring in. Make sure your nib's constantly wet. Don't let it get dry. If you make any little mistakes like this bit here, look, it just all went a little bit streaky for me there. If that happens, wait for it to dry. Go over it again when it's dry. Don't try and do it while it's wet, because you'll just end up making it even more streaky. But yeah, sometimes you will need to just give your artwork a 2 or 3 coats. Right, one last time on the outside again. Let's go red. Well, I should say I'm going red. You can go whatever colour you want. It's always pretty cool to see rainbows done with different colours, different combinations of colours. There we go, get right up close to the edge. Ideally you don't really want to see any little white bits in between. Awesome stuff. So that was that. They were our colours on the outside. Now, before we start with our colours on the inside, I want us to put in a little part of the clouds, which is one of the main things I want to show you here. Is just a really nice, neat way of drawing clouds. So remember at the start of the session I said using a sky blue and a light blue to draw these clouds. Sky blue is a slightly darker version but works really nicely with this light blue. So we're going to use the sky blue first. You can draw the clouds, colour the clouds whatever colours you want, as long as you use the darker of the 2 colours first. Okay, because what we're going to do is we're just going to go across the bottom of our cloud So just follow the black line that we've got there already. Just the bottom part, look, and then halfway up those C shapes, yeah? Then what we're going to do, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting, is we're going to join those tips together. The end of that line and the end of that line, we're going to join it together with another bouncy line, but try and make it different to the one you've just drawn. Let me show you what I mean. So try and make it different. We're just going to go, maybe just start with a small one. Like that. See how it goes straight across, different bouncy line, colour that bit in underneath. Already you can see how it's starting to look nice and cloudy, cloud-like. Let's go and do something similar on the other side. It's a good opportunity, because we're drawing two of these, it's a good opportunity to either try something different or just double down on the technique, practice it again. So we're doing that bottom line first, going halfway up the C, and then we're joining those two lines together with another bouncy line, loads of U shapes, but try and keep it different to the one you've just done. Once you've done that, then we can colour in that bottom bit. And like I say, you can sort of see where we're going with that cloud. We are going to do something extra to it in a little while that will make it look even more 3D. But for the time being, that's a perfect start. Okay, let's go and do the inside of the cloud now. So let me zoom out. So there's my colours: red, orange, yellow, green. And then we're going into light blue, sky blue and violet for the inside of the cloud. So let's start doing that. Let's do that light blue line first. And it's important not to rush this bit, because we're going with these colours quite close to each other. It's important to give it just a few seconds to dry between each layer, so you don't get too much in the way of smudging or blending or a bit of overspill. Let's keep on going though. Next colour, sky blue. Sky blue's a nice bridge between light blue and the really dark violet. That's why we're using two blues in here. Normally a rainbow would go from green, blue, violet, indigo, or indigo violet. I can't remember which way around it is. But we haven't got those Posca colours, so this is probably, I find this is the best looking way of putting in a rainbow. Look how wonky my rainbow is over there. It is all over the place. But yeah, like I say, don't stress if your rainbow's looking a bit wonky. Actually, I think a wonky rainbow would be really cool to draw. If it is starting to look a bit wonky, do it even wonkier on purpose. Ready to go throw in that last colour. Last colour is the violet. Let's whack that one in as well. Well, this is the last colour I'm using anyway. I mean, it always would be good to see people doing different colour rainbows, trying it with all the greens or something like that, or just warm tones or just cool tones. There you go. Now don't worry, we're making a little bit of a mess around the black outlines of the clouds. Don't worry about that. We're going to bring those black outlines back to the front a little bit later. For the time being, this is good enough. We're still in those early stages of our drawing, so it is all about just making a bit of a mess, and that's fine. Okay, everyone got their rainbow in, yeah? Chuck us a thumb. Give us a thumbs up if you've got the rainbow in, so I know I can move on to the next stage. Thanks, Maisie. Maisie's up, everybody else up. Cheers, Thomas. Who's that? Jovi, thank you, mate. Awesome. Right. Usually my rule is as long as it's like 3 or 4 thumbs, then we're good to move on to the next level. Okay, what we're going to do now, let's get back into those clouds, because we're going to add a little bit more details. A couple of things we're going to do in there, okay? So remember, you've got 2 clouds. Doesn't matter if you don't get this right. You've got 2 clouds, one to practice on, one to get right. If it doesn't look right, don't matter. It's just a little bit of doodling. We've already gone on with the sky blue, or the darker colour. Let's now go on with the light blue, or the lighter colour. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out the bottom, the top of the bottom bouncy line, if that makes any sense. So watch this. What we're going to do, look, just cut out the bottom here, just giving a real sharp finish to all of these points. Yeah, so we've now got really sharp points under there. Now before you move to the top section, what we're going to do is with the top section we're going to just come down a little bit short. So rather than hitting the black line at the top, we're going to leave a little bit of white showing. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by that. Just clean my nib. My nib's a mess. So what we're going to do, just come down a little bit short. Look. See how we're just leaving that little bit of white showing at the top. Let's colour this middle bit in. On yours, if that's not looking quite right, then just colour it all the way to the top of that black line. It's still going to look pretty cool if you do it that way. But if you can, just try and leave that little white line. It's what's known as negative space. So essentially you're using the white of the paper. You're not actually putting anything on there, but you're making it look like that's the highlight of the cloud. That's the brightest section of the cloud. Down at the bottom, that's the darkest section. Okay, so you've had one stab at it. Let's go and go to the other side and try it again. So remember, we're taking out this bottom bit first, using it as an opportunity to cut in all the way across like that. Get some real sharp points in the bottom of the cloud. Then go around the top, just coming short, so we're leaving a little bit of white. You kind of want it as much as possible, the same amount of white. All the way across, so it's a fairly consistent stripe. Colour that middle bit in black, blue, or colour that middle bit in whatever colour you're using. We are going to come back to that. We are going to add even some more cool bits in those clouds, so keep hold of those colours because we will need them a little bit later. Okay, I'll be ready then. So let's have a little look to see how everybody else is getting on with theirs. So if you're up for it, then put yourself into your gallery view, hold it up to screen so I can have a little look at what you're doing. Maisie, that's looking really cool already. I really like actually the way the rainbow is kind of getting a bit tight into that small cloud. That's looking really nice. I like that, mate. And on cardboard as well, so have a little think about whether you want to put a white outline around that a little bit later to make it really pop out. It's looking good though, mate. Nice work, Maisie. Jovi, that's looking spot on as well. Yeah, just those little tiny white reflections popping through. That is absolutely perfect. Thanks, Jovi. Addy, how you getting on? Addy, that looks superb. Really, really nice. Well done, mate. That's spot on. Jess, what are you showing me there, Jess? It looks like you were working in black and white. We'll come back to Jess. Anybody else want to show what they've been doing? Any colour combos they've gone to? Chris is up. Let's have a look, Chris. Are they like... Ah, nice. Yeah, we've got some like emerald and aqua clouds in there. They look so cool, especially on the brown paper. Really nice. Love that, mate. I can't wait to see that. Donut, that's looking good as well. Yeah, perfect on the shadows. Are they Posca pens? No, okay. We're using alcohol markers or something, yeah? Nice. Yeah, it does look really nice. Awesome stuff. Well done, Donut. Who's this? Thomas's little sister. Hello, mate. Good to see you again. That's looking really nice. You've done a great job there. Well done, you. Thomas, how you getting on? That's looking cool. Yeah, clouds have got loads of shape. And I love the wonkiness of the rainbow. That red stripe around the outside looks magic. Love that, mate. Cheers, Thomas. Well done, you. Let's go back to Jess. Jess is going on her own, going their own way on this one. I'm really liking it, though. It's looking really cool. A little bit of pencil by the looks of it. I always want my sessions just to be like, let's come and doodle together. I'll give you a bit of inspiration, a bit of step by step, so you can follow me if you want. But if you want to do your own thing, just be inspired by it, then you can. And that's exactly what Jess has done. Thank you, Jess. Appreciate that, mate. Awesome. Right, whip yourself into gallery view again, everybody, and we're gonna speaker view. Been doing this for 3 years, still call it the wrong thing. Whip yourself into speaker view. And let's go and put in some more outlines. So we got loaf of bread. Nice. There is an old workshop about how to do a slice of bread. I'll have to dig that out at some stage. I'll share that. Right, let's get back on with this cloud, rainbow kind of thing. Right, the first thing we're going to do, let's go and jump into the clouds. We're going to outline the clouds with a bit of black, just kind of bring that black line back to the front. Then we're also going to put a little face on the cloud as well. So just a real nice, simple kawaii style face, nothing too complicated at all. So yeah, feel free to do whatever you want with that. But yeah, let's go and outline the cloud first. So I want to bring these black lines back to the front. And what we're doing as well, we're just using it as an opportunity just to tidy up any other little mistakes that we might have made. Get right over into that cloud, into that rainbow, sorry. Like that, look. And you see how just by making these lines a bit thicker, all the kind of little discrepancies just fall behind these fat lines. So make your cloud as fat or as thin as it needs to be in order to hide any little mistakes that we might have made. There you go, that's looking quite nice. Down the bottom here, let's outline that. Outline it once, then double line it. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to go a little bit thicker on my underneath. Because it's the underside of the rainbow, it's where the shadow is. So you can afford to go a little bit thicker than the top. There we go. And now before I put in the face on this character, I just want to do a little tiny bit of cutting in. So we're going to take that sky blue. And you see this little point here, that's quite a high point. I just want you to add quite a sharp curve. Just there, look. Quite a sharp curve like that, just on the top of that little point. We'll come back to that in a bit. Okay, let's go and do the other side. So we're giving our black outline one outline just to get it in. Go around it all again to make it wonky, to hide all those rough edges that we had when we were colouring in. Something like that will do. Couple of, I can't tell whether that's a bit of mist or no, it's a bit of mist. And then back in with that sky blue, let's just add another little, just there, look, little bounce, maybe even put a bigger one just there. Look. They're not eyes. I know they look like eyes, but they're not eyes. Right, let's go back to the other cloud. Now, this time with our light blue. Remember that little kind of U shape that we did? What we're going to do is we're going to cut out the top of that U shape. We're going to make it so the ends, the edges here are very, very tapered and thin, and the middle bit there is very, very fat. Okay, so watch this. What we're going to do is we're just going to chop out that bit and that bit. See how that just starts to look like we've got an extra bounce, extra bit of cloud just coming forward. Let's try and do the same over this side as well. Just chop out the edges, look. Just gives us those extra little shapes. Now obviously if you've done big clouds you can do that quite a lot. If you've used alcohol markers then you can't really do that cutting in. You've got to use a little bit of a thinner pen. Right, let's wait for that to dry. We'll put faces in those a little bit later, but let's go and jump into the rainbow now. And what I want us to do is we're just going to add a nice drippy effect to this rainbow. So you ready for this? Let's start with the violet and work our way out. Okay, so for example with this violet, look, let's get in here and let's go and add some drips. There's a little drip there. Let's go a bit further along. Let's go and put a real big drip in. And then next to that, just a little smaller drip. Just throw in a few drips like that. There are big kind of hanging drips. We can also do some drips that are just kind of going down the sides here. So this time, look, they just jump out and blend in. Like that. Let's do one here. Let's just jump out and blend in. Jump out, blend in. So we've got ourselves some little drips. Don't go too overboard because what we're going to do now is we're going to go into the next colour. The next colour there was the sky blue. So let's go into the sky blue and add some drips. This time those drips are going to go over the violet. So watch this. Let's go from about here. Look. Now you see how with these Posca pens we can just colour over another colour. Look how cool that drip looks. Go and throw a few more drips in wherever you want. Try not to think about it too much, just chuck a drip in, hope for the best. I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's put in a little one over here, look. So you see what we're doing now? We're going to carry on that technique, just keep on going through all the colours. My suggestion is don't bother with the yellow because yellow is such a transparent colour. It's going to take you like 3 or 4 coats to get it to go over some of these other colours. So I wouldn't necessarily bother with the yellow. I'd still do all the other colours though. So here we go. Let's go into this light blue. Just make sure everything's dry. Little light blue there. Let's do a little bit of light blue there. It's picked up quite a lot. It's picked up quite a lot of the purple there. See on that one, that's not wet, that's a little bit of the purple kind of coming through. If that kind of stuff happens, just leave it to dry for a little bit longer. The purple or the violet just wasn't quite dry enough for me to go over that. But that's good. Let's go with the next colour. We can come back, we can fix these things whenever we want. Let's go with the next colour. Remember, make sure you prime your pen. It's going to be a lot easier to use if you prime your pen. Go and throw in some drips. Where should we put the other one? Let's put a small one there. Haven't really got much going on here. Let's go and put some. I'm going to put a big drip. In there. Not sure if you can see those, but they'll be alright. Right, I'm going to skip the yellow. I'm not bothering with the yellow because it will just come out way too transparent. Let's go straight to orange. Let's start putting in some. We've got some like nice big areas we can put some orange drips in. So let's go and put those in. And you see when we're doing these drips, we're making them nice and fat at the end, skinnier in the middle. Let's put one in here. Make sure you leave yourself a little decent amount of space for some red drips in there as well. You don't want to overload it. I've got a big one there. Let's go and put a smaller one in just there. Over this side, let's go over here. Try not to think about it too much, just go and throw them in. Don't forget those little drips on the side as well. Looking good. Right, last one. Let's get in with that red. Let's go crazy with the red. Let's go and put some big drips in. Press nice and gently as well. As you're going over other colours, you're not going to get a opaque finish by pressing hard. If you press too hard, you're just going to start picking up some of the colours underneath. That's the last thing we want. Just press nice and gently and just lay a load of red all on there. Let's put some in there. And let's go over here as well with a big one. Awesome. Right, I'm just going to go and quickly get in there and tidy up that light blue that I did just there, because that light blue just came out a little bit too purple. So don't forget what I always say, that if you do make any mistakes, or even if you don't make any mistakes but things don't go to plan, just wait for it to dry, go back, fix it when you're ready to fix it. These are so easy to fix. Okay, before we move back to the clouds, let's just go and add some extra little bits to the rainbow. So for example, all we've done is drips, attached drips. What we're going to do now is going to do some like drips that have fallen off. So like everywhere there's like a fairly short drip, you can go underneath it and you can do a little drip that's fallen off. So look, there's a little drip there. Let's drop one just there. Where's another one? That's quite a short one there, so let's put a little droplet there. Just going to quickly go over that bit because that's not very opaque. And let's put a droplet in there. Remember, try not to mix it up too much, try and get it right first time. Even if it's not particularly opaque, just give it a little go, let it dry, go back and give it another coat if you need to. Yellow I'm not going to bother with. Orange, let's bring out the orange. Let's do an orange drip over here. Let's have that bit. drip in there. Let's put some smaller drips in as well. There you go. That looks nice. That red. I'm going to put a red drip in there. And one there. Beautiful. We also want something around the outside edge here as well. So just think about what you're going to do on the outside edge. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put some little drips in. Little kind of red drips that are attached to the edge. Let's do one there. Let's do another one there. Let's do one. So try and keep it different on both sides. And then let's just throw in some little spots on the outside there. Not going too crazy with that, just a few little bits. Beautiful. Right, let's finish this off then. Last thing we're going to do, let's get into the clouds. We're going to add little faces to these clouds. I'm going to add little faces to these clouds. You can do whatever you want on yours. Also be thinking about, you know, what else do you want to put? Do you want to put in a little background? Do you want to put in some other clouds in the background? Do you want to colour that background in? Have a bit of fun with it. Do whatever you want to it. Okay, let's go and put some faces in. I'm going to keep it standard kawaii style faces. Little circles for eyes. Trying to ignore all the other stuff that's going on in the face, in the cloud, those bouncy bits. Let's do a little W for the mouth. Simple as that. Keep your pen primed, especially if you're like me, if you're using a 3M. The flow of a 3M is usually a little bit slower. So keep it primed on a bit of cardboard. Let's give this one a different mouth look. Little capital H for a mouth. Okay, so other things you can think about. Maybe you want to have some of those drips coming out from underneath the rainbow. You see these rainbows bits that are coming down here, maybe they're coming out underneath here as well. Should we put some little drips in? Why not? Let's see what it looks like. I'm just going to put some raindrops in, I think. Beautiful. Let's finish off this piece then, the last few seconds. Then we're going to have a little look, see how everyone's getting on. Last thing I'm going to do with mine is little white dots in the eyes. The eyes just look a little bit dead to me. So, and I like doing this as the very last thing I do to the artwork, because it almost like brings the character alive. So little white dots up in there. Look. Oops. Smudged one of those raindrops, so let's go and fix that. See that raindrop there? Smudged it, so I'm just going to go and make it massive. How's that looking? Awesome. Nice easy little rainbow piece. Maybe put in a sun at the top. Very naive kind of style, son. Nice and easy. Suits what we're doing with the artwork though. More little spots. Finish off. Maybe I've got a smudge up there, so I'm just going to cover that smudge with some yellow spots. Anything else you want to do to yours? Now's the time. You know me. Going to put a few little flies in. Why not? Okay, let's do it. So the main thing you should have got from that lesson was that ability to be able to overlay the colours. Look how that pretty boring kind of rainbow now looks a lot more interesting with all these drips coming down, the way those drips kind of go over all the layers. But the other thing was this cloud, how to cut in on a cloud, how to make a cloud look a little bit more 3D. One, by putting a darker shade underneath. Two, by leaving the white of the paper popping through at the top. Oh man, I'm so tempted. I should put a little face on there, shouldn't I? I'm not going to though. I'm going to leave it like that. Right, let's have a little look, see how everyone else got on with their Posca artwork. So whip yourself into gallery view. Hold it up to screen when you're ready. Let's see what everybody's done. Who's up first? If you're still going on, if you're still carrying on, that's cool. We've got a bit of time. There's no major rush. I'm just going to put a little face in my sun. There we go, little face in the sun. Alright, let's have a look. Jess is up. Lovely stuff, Jess. Yeah, I really like those mountains that you've got put in at the bottom. That's looking really nice, mate. And that's the rainbow worm, rainbow kind of sausage insect bee that we drew the other day as well, isn't it? Just recognise that. Love how long that looks. That's brilliant. Nice work. Thank you, Jess. Looks great. All right, Thomas's little sister's back up again. Got all the colours in there as well. Gotten really busy with that. Well done, you. You get a brilliant well done there. Oh, mate, Isaac. Was you joining in as well, Isaac? I did not know that. It looks like you put a face in there. Is that you and your hair? It looks brilliant.
And my nan and my mum both joined in.
No way. Okay, get Nan and Mum on. I want to see Nan and Mum's artwork. That's pretty cool. Who did that one?
That one was my nan.
Well done, Nan. Well done, Nan. Let's have a look at Mum's. That's brilliant. Is that Mum's? I love the drips. All the drips kind of coming in towards the middle like that. And it's got horns. Why has a rainbow got horns? That's fantastic. Awesome stuff. Well done, Mum. Thomas, what about you, mate? Oh, look at that. You've gone with a black outline around the back, around the outside of the character, and you've put a little face in. I see where Mum's got the idea of the horns, because you put horns on yours as well. They look a lot better on yours, mate. Don't tell your mum I said that, will you? But those horns look really good. T Dizzle cat bow. Brilliant stuff. Cheers, Thomas. Well done, you, mate. Thank you very much. Right, let's have a look at somebody else's work. Let's have a quick look at Maisie's. Look at that. And all the paisley colours, really pale colours in there. For that, I really like that. Almost looks blended in. Awesome stuff. It looks like you've gone for a little black outline around the rainbow as well. That's looking really nice. Makes it pop out on that cardboard.
I shall put a face in everything. I shall now put a face in every single row of the rainbow. I even have face in the sun.
Brilliant. That sounds good, mate. Go for it. Cheers, Maisie. Well done. Chris, whilst you're there, look at that. That's insanely good. I really like that. Definitely the emerald clouds, emerald and aqua clouds do look really nice. And those colours on the brown paper, yeah, just absolutely spot on. Really nice work, Chris. Thank you very much, mate. Well done. Donut, how did you get on? What's going on at the bottom there? Milky donut. Donut Milky. They've got something going on at the bottom there. Nice. Nice fat drips as well. I'm glad you put extra drips in there. Well done, Donut. That looks awesome. Sarah, let's have a look at yours. Bring it up straight up on screen. Look at that. Fills the page. That's almost like a carbon copy of mine, apart from the sun not being put on there. That's brilliant. We're zooming in now. Your iPad zooming into your ring. Gotta love an iPad and its intelligent zooming. That looks really good though. Perfect work, Sarah. Thank you very much for taking part. Jovi, how did you get on? Jovi's put a big face in there as well. Look at that massive face. Love the oval eyes. Brilliant idea. Instead of putting no faces in the clouds, just one great big one in the rainbow. Looks really nice. Limited black lines. Raindrops. The colourful raindrops all the way down the bottom as well. Look really good. Awesome work. Thank you, Jovi. Addy, how did you get on, mate? Is it just me that didn't draw a face in the rainbow? It's like I just had to check mine to see if I actually drew one in there, because everyone else has drawn a face in the rainbow. Really nice face, mate. And it's got a tongue sticking out. Why shouldn't a rainbow have a tongue? Awesome stuff. What's it say at the top? Drippy rainbow. Yeah, awesome. Cheers, Addy. Well done, mate. That's perfect. Yeah, Donut, we're seeing yours, mate. That's awesome. Right, well done, everybody. Thank you very much for taking part. Anybody who wants to share any more artwork, go do it on the WhatsApp group, on the Facebook page, something like that, so I can see them. Always good. Right, thanks a lot. Back in tomorrow. So, yeah, hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow at 6:30. Take care, everybody. Cheers. Bye-bye.